Our next speaker, like I mentioned at the beginning, we are swapping roles due to some technical difficulties. So our next speaker is Kelly Vieira. Her session is on motivating a division. So over to you, Kelly. Also, if you could just confirm your timing so that Tracy can note that down, please. And Tracy, what I would also recommend is just ring the bell once for green, again once for yellow, and then red, instead of doing a video, because I realize that speakers may not be looking at the video chat. Mm-hmm. Yep. Over to you, Kelly.
Yeah, Amit, I don't know my timing. Sorry. I didn't know exactly what I should be talking about. So if you can confirm, Carole.
Why don't you go for 10 minutes and then see what happens, Kelly? I'm sure you can.
I don't know, because so what you want me to cover is what I will be doing for my division, right?
Yes.
So everyone here, so my name is Kelly and I'm the division director for ranges. It's a pleasure to be here and having time to and the opportunity to talk to you all. I have many plans for the division. I think the people who know me, they know that I'm always very active. I think I have a problem because I'm so hyperactive, and sometimes this can be a problem, and not everyone can follow the same rhythm, but hopefully in the ranges division we will have people to follow that. And I have my friend Tracy, who normally follows that as well, and she helps me in everything, and she's also my mentor, and we all normally have the ideas together. One thing that I challenged the district was our last COT training. We had a speaker to cover the pathways, but she could not come, and I had to do it last minute. And when I was talking to them, I was presenting the statistics, and Debbie touched that point, which is the adoption rate is not high enough. And I cannot particularly understand, for example, why we cannot have 100% adoption rate amongst the executives of the club. Because if you don't have members and new members, I may understand there are reasons for that. But the executives, I think it's a must. And in order to bribe the executives of all the clubs in Ranges Division, I proposed that I would particularly create a new award, which would be the Ambassador of Pathways for the Ranges Division. And the criteria will be very simple. I would like them to have 100% adoption for all the executives, but let's suppose that all the clubs in the Ranges Division will meet that target. Then how am I going to select who is the actual ambassador? Second criteria will be the executive that reaches the highest level in a club. So as an example, let's say that Rafters Club and Rovio clubs, they both reach the 100%. I will be picking the club which executive reached the highest level. Let's say one executive reached level 5, but project number 1, and the other one completed level 5, then obviously who completed level 5 will be my ambassador. Obviously, I'm taking a big risk here because this was like I invented on the spot when I was presenting the pathways. And if we have many executives in many clubs completing level 5, I will have to give the award and the present for all of them. And I promised them that I would do that. So that's my promise to my division. And hopefully everything is going to work out. And I think that if the division has great success in everything, it means a reflection of all of us working together. And I have no problems with really trying and doing something. So they are happy with pathways and they do it, they use the system and the tool, which we cannot avoid. All of us will have to do. And some people, they are reluctant. I have had examples of presidents of the clubs that they never signed up for that and they didn't know that they were managers on pathways. And after the training, they realize, oh, so I have a responsibility, I have something to do. And hopefully that's gonna push all of them to participate more and reach the 100%, and we will have great results on pathways adoption rates for the ranges division. I also would like very much for the training to be centralized on the needs of the division. So every time we have trainings, we talk about pathways, and we tried to do this year in the COT. And it's not covering basics because, particularly speaking, I have been to pathways training multiple times, and I'm a little bit sick of always hearing the same thing. How do you log in? How do you browse in the project? So it's always the same information again and again and again. And I believe that at this stage, we all should have done that. We all should be good at that. And what I would expect is hear from the members what are the difficulties they have. So the next training, I would really like to, before the next COT training, have a survey and have 100% accuracy on what we need to train them about related to pathways. So the training will be very specific based on the needs of all them pointed out by the members in the division. So I'll be planning the survey, and I will be circulating, and the training will be very specific on that. And there is no better way of learning than training. In the COT training as well was highlighted that if they have difficulties, then they can potentially seek for help. And I would be happy to help. And I pointed out that we would be happy to point your group out as well, so I'm sure you would be happy. And I have been copying Carole on Easy Speak needs or Pathways needs, and I shared all the information that we could during COT, so they all received this information. So I facilitated one COT training on Pathways, Tracy Green facilitated the second one, and we shared the same type of information. So at least the executives are informed where they can seek for help, who can help them, what materials we have available, and hopefully they will use that. But we also offered themselves to let us know if they have any difficulties, and more than happy to facilitate training sessions if needed be, or pointing them to you, and you can help us as a Pathways group. I have been posting as well. We created a new page for Ranges Division, D73 Ranges Division, and I have been posting everything there. And the main idea by creating that page is not moving people from District 73 Facebook page to the Ranges Division, but it's more centralized for our division community, so they don't miss any information and comms. I have had complaints about members of clubs, executives saying, oh, we were never informed about the COT training, or we were never informed how we could sign up for Pathways. Therefore, I wouldn't like to rely only on emails or information that is cascaded from the district to division to area directors to the club executives, but to have another channel that they can receive information. And another channel I have been using as well is Easy Speak. I talk to everyone from the division through Easy Speak and through District 73 Ranges Facebook page, plus communicate with the area directors via email. So I'm trying to open up as many channels as possible, so there are no longer excuses if they don't participate in COT training because they never received the information. And I think that's all I can do, and try the best as I can to communicate the best as I can. And in the division page, it was published that I would like to have a humorous night, or a debate night, or a telltales night. And I'm planning this activity because I think what lacks in what I see normally is people, they are just very integrated into their own clubs, and they don't go out of the clubs much. And the people who are integrated in the district activities or things outside of the clubs are always the same people. Like, I know many of you, like Carole and Tracy and Debbie, and we are always that same group. And I would like that to be expanded and more people participating, and we are not always seeing the same faces and the same people volunteering to do stuff. And that's the plan, is that we talk more, we share more, we laugh together, and we do more things outside the club. I'm making a strong effort to help them in the contests, and I hope that I will get to know them and talk to them about these activities that I would like to have, so they would like to participate as well. And in what is in it for them is for them to be able to complete projects. For example, when we run debates, someone will have to chair the debate, someone will help us to find the venue, or organize the agenda, organize the topic. So all of these activities, we need help. We cannot count with one person or two people. It has to be many people together. And I hope that if we assign and delegate, people get more involved and we have more fun together, and they get outside of that bubble that is just the club or just the area, and we all interact more. That's what I really want. So keep an eye on that, because it's really, I think it's going to be exciting having these debates and the Tote Unite. And last but not least, we have been asked for a few people to run, probably Tracy and I. If you know, we have released the podcast Speak We Are Listening last year for the district. We are still running podcasts now, both of us as part of our business, that are to be business. And some people, they want to know what are the basics about podcasts, and we promised to run one podcast educational in our club, and we would like to run an educational as well for the division. And if we run these online, for example, we don't need to do just for the division. We can do for anyone, because Toastmasters, the problem also is we centralize too much in certain areas or certain clubs, certain people. But if we share more, then it's definitely, it's a good thing, because we share the knowledge, everyone learn, and we just, we all get the most of it all. These are my plans, and I think my time is up. Tracy, just ring the bell. Hopefully the ideas are clear. I'm the opposite of Debbie, because I speak too fast and too much. Debbie is very calm, and the voice tone and the pace is better than mine, but I'll get there that one day. And back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kelly. I totally agree with you when you say you speak too fast, and that comes from the energy you have. So we welcome that always. Big round of applause and show of hands to Kelly for giving us those tips and sessions. We have a few questions on the chat, which I'm going to bring up. Wendy had one question saying, do other division members, or can other division members join Rangers page?
Oh, definitely. It's a public page, so everyone can go there and see everything we post, and every member of any division, any place can join the activities as well. I will always be posting there, and it's open to anyone. It's just because I represent Rangers, but everyone is really welcome.
Awesome. I had another recommendation on that. I just told her, just go and join a club in Rangers.
Sorry?
No, I was saying, I told Wendy, why don't you just join another club in the Rangers division?
I am in a club in the Rangers division. I am in 2 clubs on Bass division and 1 club in Rangers division.
That was to Wendy. I was telling Wendy to do that because she had the question.
No, not necessarily. She doesn't need to. She's more than welcome, and everybody else.
Great. Our next question comes from Carole. She wants you to post the link for Speak We Are Listening podcast group in Facebook.
Well, we have done that. It's Tracy Green was the PR manager last year for the district, and Tracy posted all the episodes we recorded on the district. And if you search for Speak We Are Listening on the District 73, you'll definitely find the posts from Tracy. And when you click in the posts, you are directed to the page where all of the episodes are recorded, and you can see it all there. Or you would search on Facebook page, Speak We Are Listening, and you can find us as well.
Okay. All right. Does that answer your question, Carole?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
No problem. Liz has a question as well. Will the Rangers events be replicated on the D73 Facebook group? I think it should, but
Well,
that's
I
a question for Kelly.
That's a good question. I haven't thought about it. I don't use the District 73 link much. And because every time I use is really to post something that is relevant and I need. Sorry to be so opportunist, but when I post it's because I want volunteers for the youth leadership program, or it's always with a purpose. But because these are ideas for the ranges, I don't know if everyone would be interested really. So I posted on District 73 the link to the ranges division, and everyone is welcome to go to the ranges, but I really don't want to go all over the place because it can be confusing. So I'll try and centralize as much as I can on the ranges. Also because there will be things that are very specific for the ranges. For example, if we do the area council meeting that is booked for X day, or the contests or the area contests, not that no one else is welcome, but there will be things very, very specific for the ranges. But if it's something that is really welcome to everyone, I may post on D673, why not? I'll think seriously about that and try not to be selfish. But you're all welcome to come to to the ranges division, and so you can play both pages.
Sounds good, Kelly. I think the whole point of posting it on the D73 page was to just make sure that everybody knows about it, and that way you get more interaction. Like you mentioned earlier, it's always a limited group of people that you're always working with. This would give you the opportunity to invite more people who are interested in these kind of events.
Okay, yeah. If it's common to everyone, more than yeah, I will try and do this in post, and if it's specific to ranges, then I will post only on ranges. It's a good idea. Thank you.
Okay, another point which Liz made was if we can get those activities also on the D73 calendar, because a lot of members look at the D73 calendar to see what's happening through the month and accordingly express the interest to join. So it would be great if we could get them there.
Definitely can.
We have a new webmaster this year, Heath, who's part of City Center. So I think you can reach out to him and he can add those in the calendar.
Yep, I will.
Awesome. Any other questions for Kelly? Okay, I take silence as a yes. Thank you very much, Kelly. And I do a virtual handshake to take the meeting back from you.
Welcome.
Big round of applause for Kelly.